And so let us enter into our evening together by taking a deep breath in and allowing that breath to fully infill our hearts and minds and release anything we no longer wish to have in our hearts or minds with the out-breath. Breathing in and connecting once again ourselves and releasing. Drawing in every good thing, allowing us to come together as a community, near and far, in this room and beyond. Our hearts are one, our lives are connected, our love comes from an infinite source. And so in this evening, moving from day to night, we allow ourselves now this transition to remembering the real truth underneath all conditions. We are one. This moment is eternal. And in this moment, every possibility is present. And so we breathe, we smile, we relax, we let go, and we feel our connection. We feel our community around us. We feel this moment is ours. And so it is. Amen.
Let's join together in a time of chanting. As we engage in this first chant, I send my love. We remember the spiritual principle that as we send out a blessing, the blessing returns to us. So let's send that blessing out into the universe to all people, all beings that are needing of healing at this time. Let's sing.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send peace over the sea. I send peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it
This next one is a Tibetan chant, and it's for healing all sufferings, pain, depression of humans and animals experiencing physical and mental pain at this time. Just continue to send our love out as we sing.
Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha Te ata om bekhanse bekhanse Mahabekhanse rasa samudgate soha.
Let us take that sacred energy that has generated within us as we've expressed our love through our chants, turning our attention inward. Finding a comfortable seated posture. Just simply returning to your meditative posture reminds your body that it's time. It's time to be centered, to be still, to listen. So grounding our feet into the earth, feeling even weight in all parts of our feet as we connect with the earth. Nice straight spine. Feeling the arms dangling off of the shoulders. Open your palms. Bringing a gentle smile to your face, to your eyes, to release the muscles of the face. As we breathe and open. Breathing into any areas of tension that you may be noticing in the body now that you have become still. Sending that area love, breathing into it. Feeling a greater release as you let go. Feeling yourself open to the movement of divine flow through the crown of your head, flowing down your spine all the way down through the soles of your feet, connecting you with the energy of the earth beneath you. Feeling peace, connection, love. And this holy energy of the light that you are. I invite you to call to mind those who you have shared your experience with, who have passed, who are no longer on this physical plane, though the energy of their life continues in another form. Think of grandparents and other relatives, significant other, friends, colleagues, neighbors. Imagine you have an altar, and upon that altar are photos of each of these dear ones who you remember at this time, all lovingly displayed before you. Allow yourself to take in that energy of love that they are emanating to you from having known you and shared time together, whether it was a long time or a short time. It was meaningful. Just invite you to see one that is calling your attention, one that has a particular energy or light, radiance about it, one particular person's image. Call that image forward. See that beloved in their wholeness, in all that they are. Consider a wonderful memory that you have of that person. To feel your connection with them. Invite this dear one to share with you anything that they would like you to know. Any bit of wisdom, healing message. Something funny even. Invite them to share that with you in your mind's eye. As you receive this message, send your gratitude to them. Feel your divine connection. And as you release this person, inviting you to call forward one more that you would like to connect with, one more person that may be from a different part of your life.
see them in their wholeness, in their perfection, in their light, and behold them in the good memories and the connection that you've had. Invite this person now to speak and share with you anything that they would have you know about this earthly life experience that they would want you to remember now, in this time, that in all that you're going through. Extend your gratitude now to that person, that sacred being. Blessing them as you release them now back to the altar. Opening to divine wisdom received in connecting with those who have lived before you, who have known you and continue to know you in other ways now. They are still able to provide wisdom and love and support. We bless them, giving thanks. The memories and the newness of the experience we've just had. Allowing yourself to feel any feelings that may have arisen in this connection. There is some sadness, joy, or whatever may have come forth. Allowing that to be just right, just perfect. Honoring yourself and honoring the gifts of spirit in all the way, shape, and form that they unfold for you. So we return our energy to the body, feeling ourselves grounding in our body temple. Again, feeling the connection of our feet to the earth, the balance of our seated posture. Rolling the shoulders to release any tension. Breathing in, letting go. Gently bringing your attention once again in a soft focus to this space. Allowing the light to come in at your own pace. Taking in all that is around you and knowing all is well. And so it is.
So we re-enter our bodies in this time, in this place, feeling our gratitude for our time apart and for whatever we've received in our time of meditation and experience on the interior plane. Thank you, Reverend Jeanmarie, for leading us in that review of our past experiences with others. Blessed by that. As we return to this time, this is the time in our service that we share from the abundance of the gifts we've received. These gifts come to us in so many forms, and our sharing really becomes an outpouring of the gratitude of our hearts. And so at this time, as you consider your gift to this ministry, that we can continue to offer all of the teachings and the reach beyond this time in our experience, beyond those who are physically present, but who are present in virtually. I guess that's the way we're thinking of our lives these days. We're virtually present in lots of ways. As we consider that, let us feel in our hearts our gratitude for what we receive and how we would like to share our support. And so you see the number for text to give on your screen, and it's an opportunity to consider how you would like to share. And as you do that now, let us open our hearts with the gratitude that we have and bless our gift by calling it by its name. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive, and so it is. Amen.
What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am home? It's a question I'm presently wanting to answer. If the usual way doesn't work for me now, it's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? It's a mystery, no one can give me the answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game has ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken? We're all passing again and again. If the race is over, purpose of time here on earth? How do I define my death and birth? For that matter, what is my life really worth in the end? What's mine to give and what's mine to receive? Whom do I worship? What do I believe? Seems every answer comes right back to me in the end. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over and we're all born victorious, what if the race is over? What then?
Thank you for allowing me to share that Daniel Nahmod tune. I just always love that album. It comes from his Water album. It has a very Buddhist nature to it, and I thought it would be perfect to share this evening for our topic as we look at the question of, if you knew you would die tomorrow, how would you live this day differently? Would there be some things that you waste your time on that you kind of let that go? Would your priorities change? Would you take time to connect with some people, maybe heal some relationships today? Would you live more mindfully in the moment? Would you feel free of some baggage, some burdens that don't seem to matter anymore? These are the questions that we're considering in this series that we've been doing. This is the third part of the series as we look at Wayne Muller's book, How Then Shall We Live? And there are 4 questions considered in the book. We started with, who am I? And then Reverend Karen brought us, what do I love? And my message today is about the third question, how shall I live knowing that I will die? This is not meant to be a morbid question, and certainly I don't think I'm dying anytime soon. I don't have any plans for that, so you can cancel on that one. It's a question for the ages, for us to consider, to remember our mortality. And if there's one thing I think we can take away from this COVID experience is that life is precious, and that we really don't know how much time we have with each other. We don't know how long we have here, and the sad news is some people have lost entire families through COVID, people who they were expecting to be around a lot longer. So we really have no time to waste, not trying to put out any fear, but just the reality of what has been going on, and I know many of us are grieving losses as well that we've experienced through COVID. And we just don't know how much time we have with others either. I think about, I've only been in this ministry for a little over 6 years, and how many dear ones left what for me felt like too soon, and I'm sure it was just right on time for their soul, but certainly some that were unexpected. Our Jaime Gomez, who was just a tragic loss for us, and that was heartbreaking to lose him. We just didn't know how much time we had left with him. And I think about, and our licensed Unity teachers' beloved faces, that I think of Cecile Etherly and Francis Huffman, and just sometimes even expecting them to be at meetings, and because they were so much a part of what we're doing and who we are at Unity of Houston. No doubt their energy and love is with us, but to think, if I knew they were going to be gone, what would I have said or done differently? And so we get to ask that question for ourselves and our lives and even the people in our lives. Because even if those people continue to live, they all live a long time, everything changes. Things change so frequently. And sometimes before you know it, somebody's moved away and they're not a part of your circle anymore. So we're invited in this practice to cherish the moment, to cherish those who are with us, and to live as if this day or the next day may be our last. I want to share a story with you from the book, from Wayne Muller's book. Now, Wayne Muller is a minister and he's a teacher, and had the pleasure to hear him speak at a Unity conference a few years ago. And he tells a story in this book about a man who he was counseling named Paul. And Paul had been going through a long journey with cancer, and he was in Santa Fe. He was doing his ministry in Santa Fe, and Paul was nearing the end of his life. And when his cancer became far advanced, it became clear for him to prepare for his death. And so Wayne visited him what turned out to be a week before he died. And he went to his home, and Paul was in his bed, and he was propped up on a lot of pillows, and the French doors were open in his bedroom, and so there was just light, sun, and a nice breeze flowing in. And Wayne sat on the edge of Paul's bed, and there was just silence for a while. He sat there, and finally Paul said, "I feel ready to go. But sometimes I wish I just had more time." So he knew it was his time to go, and he had prepared for that moment for years, and he had shared with Wayne that he'd been studying yoga and meditation, and he had beautiful people in his life who loved him very much. And so he had a sense of wholeness. But Paul said, I just wish that I could stay here. I wish I had 10 more years free of this illness. With those years, I could really live the way that I wanted. And so Wayne wanted to explore this with him and said, well, what would you do if you had those 10 years? What would your life look like? And Paul reflected, and he said, I would be kind. I would live my life with kindness. I'd be kind to children and teach them to be kind too. This is all I really ever wanted to do, just to be kind, to be loving. We got down to the essence of what he really came here to do. Death brought that clear to him. Paul shared with Wayne that just a few months prior, he had gone to a bakery to get a couple of his favorite cookies, and he told the girl behind the counter that he was buying 2 of his favorite cookies, and the girl said, oh, I love those too, but they're just very expensive. And he paid and he left, and something within him said for him to go back. And he went back and he bought another of the same cookie, and then he gave it to her. And he said, I know it's your favorite cookie. This one is for you. And she was so surprised by his kindness, and she said to him, you are such a kind man. And he said, this simple moment of just a cookie, he felt so wonderful. He said, this is how he would like to live. If he had more time, that's how he would like to live his life. So if you had more time, what would you do differently? If you knew that when your end date might be, but you had some more time, what would you do differently? For Paul, death clarified his heart's desire. And that is the most sacred and valuable thing. For him, it was to be a kind person, and everything else just fell away. In Buddhism, this practice is called Maransati, and the practice means death awareness. It's living in an awareness that we are going to die one day, and to allow that awareness to not to put us in fear, but to enrich and illuminate our life so we can live more fully in this moment and more fully appreciate that which is in our life right now. The Buddha told this wonderful parable about this that I love to share, and it's about a man who is traveling across a field and he encounters a tiger, and he's afraid of the tiger, so he runs, and the tiger runs after him, and he runs as far as he can go, and he hits this precipice, and there's a vine hanging over this cliff, and so he grabs hold of the vine and he climbs down, and the tiger is at the top trying to get him, and he looks down, and nipping at his heels is another tiger. He looks at the vine, and there are these two little mice, one that is white and one that is black, that were nipping at the vine. So that vine wasn't going to last much longer. And he looked next to him, and he saw this luscious strawberry growing off the side of the cliff. And he let go of the vine with one hand, and he plucked the strawberry and waste less time. Sometimes Wayne describes that we can get our vision board all set up and we think, well, when I've got that life, then I'll really live. When I've got the house or the education or the job or the money or whatever it is that is that perfect life. And maybe by the time all that gets worked out, there might not be so much left. Why not live fully now? Because the stuff, we know, we can't take it with us, right? And it's not what really is dear to our hearts. We'll have missed the journey if we're just waiting to get all the stuff, right? So I invite you into this practice that Wayne Muller shares, and it's called I Could Die Today. I could die today. You make it fun. So just pick a simple activity to do, something that you do every day. Brush your teeth, or wash dishes, or put on clothes, open your car door, anything that you know you do every day. And every time you do that particular thing, say, I could die today. And what if that was true? So what arises in you when you do that? What feelings, what people, what dreams arise? What do you feel free from? And so allow that to be a practice, a simple practice, to bring you into mindfulness and to help you have some clarity about where you want to put your energy and your joy, and what maybe you want to let go of. So I hope that will serve you well. And I want to close with one of my favorite poems, The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaw back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? May that inspire you to open up even more greatly to your heart's desires and live this life fully. Namaste. Not so morbid, right?
Jeanmarie, do you know the musical Zorba, the Greek?
I I know of it.
You know of it. There's a fabulous line in it that is pertinent to what you just said, in that Zorba's this really full-spirited guy. You know, he's old and round and gray-haired, and he dances through life, and he's just this huge, larger-than-life character. And one of the community gentlemen said, "Zorba, you live like you're going to live forever." And he says, "No, I live like I die today."
Yes, yes, that's perfect. I need to make a note of
I
that.
thought about that the moment you spoke, and then sort of living into that as you continued to speak, I reflected on how interesting it looked from the outside, that when you're living like you could die today, it looks like you're living forever. I love that. I can live into that.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, David.
I love that. Thank you, Jeanmarie. That was really very lovely. It was a light touch, but a deep dive. You know, you just really kept it in the light, and yet let us tap down into some important questions. I'm thinking back in the story about Paul and how Paul realized that his essence of his life was kindness, the opportunity to be kind. And it made me wonder if in your exploration of this topic, do you have an awareness of an essence? You know, sometimes I think it's more than one thing, but something that's just really kind of rock bottom, solid touchstone for you in your life, I wondered.
Well, as I think about my legacy and what really I want to bring and to leave and to do, what lights me up is sharing unity teachings, because my life has been transformed, and I feel like I kind of owe it to everybody to let them know about it because it's good stuff. And so I just really want to share it. And so I do feel called to live that too, which is a great kind of, I want to say aspiration, because we're always being, wherever we grow into, there's always more to grow into, right? So we're always expanding and learning and growing. And so I'm so grateful for having answered the call. And
sometimes it's scary and it's hard and it causes challenges in my life, but most of the time it brings everything into alignment, right? And so I'm pretty sure it's my head that figures that out a lot of times, but it's also a feeling. The other one, of course, is love, and love is, to me, the answer to every situation. And when I'm baffled by it, my wisest, highest mind will tell me, how can you use love in this situation? How could you love? How could you love more? How could you love yourself? How could you love the situation? How could you become bigger than that? To me, that's also love. You know, it's just love expands, love connects, love heals, love juices everything up. You know, it's just love is just the whole thing. So if I can toggle back and forth between truth and love, it's a pretty good life. That's how I see it. So thank you for inviting me to consider that with this theme this evening.
And thank God they're not mutually exclusive. You know, truth and love.
yeah,
Splurge, right?
Yeah.
Just take them both. Do
Double
them both,
dipping.
right?
You know, as Reverend Jeanmarie, as you were talking, I couldn't help but notice that there's a fundamental premise to all that you shared, that whomever is engaging in this question about what if I die today, that there is a relationship with God, that you sort of rest in the assurance that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And it could be that the whole of your talk is just geared to that level, and you can say, yeah, David, I'm not going to talk about that tonight. But I did have the question about, it would be possible also to listen to the kernel of what you said tonight, from a hedonistic point of view, and that if today's my last day, hey, I want the most pleasure I can get. I just want to load up this body with the pleasure and of what I can feel in this moment. And that might be a recipe for this one day, but it may not allow for very many days of inquiring, what if this is my last day?
I thought about that, the pizza and ice cream. what would I do? What would I want to eat? Yeah, I think that it's a question that could be asked with, and I don't think that Paul really mentioned anything about God. And as he shared, though, you would kind of think if he had a minister working with him, probably does believe in God. But yeah, that's interesting. The hedonistic, just gorge. But if that's the legacy you want to leave, is that? And then what if you don't die tomorrow? Then you go to Weight Watchers tomorrow. I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, maybe it's a self-limiting thing, because if you do answer every single day with the thing that you want to eat, you'll grow tired of that. I mean, at some point, purely hedonistically speaking, you'll eventually tire of your own gluttony, and think of something else to do, If you're honest with yourself, there's probably a pendulum of some sort. I know not all of us have that, and I know we're all different and all that, but I'm voting for, moderation. Moderation would win out somehow.
Right, and Lord knows I do not want to distract from the essence of what you shared tonight, which was really quite beautiful, and that is what are you doing today that is consistent with living a life that has a greater value than your life. My son's 14, and finding good family movies for us all to watch together is a constant inquiry, and so we watched The Martian recently. Now it's fiction, but it's really good fiction, and in it there's a moment where Matt Damon is leaving a audio journal for his mom and dad in case he's not going to make it. Now he's had dozens of impossible odds that he's already overcome, and so he's just another one of those. But this is the one that provokes the audio journal, and one of the things he says is that know that my life was about something greater than me. And that is a beautiful crusade, a beautiful question to live into. How to have our lives be of greater value than just the life we've led.
Yeah.
And to reflect that back to the parents,
Right.
Mom and dad.
Right.
I mean, how would it be to be a parent, to hear that from an adult child that knew that even if you lost them, that they felt very fulfilled and complete and spread out, and that you birthed that, into the world. I think that would be an awesome gift to receive in the face of a loss like that, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, a healthy way to live.
Yeah. Last night we had new member orientation, and Reverend Michael showed the video of our history of Unity of Houston, and it's just, we were talking about, you were saying about living and making a contribution that's greater than yourself, and just thinking of us and all of you, all of us, and how we are a piece of a legacy of Unity of Houston that is so much greater, that has expanded back over 100 years and hopefully hundreds of years ahead of us, that we're a piece of continuing such a good work that has been planted and formed and grown and prospered here in Houston and beyond. So I just connected with that and what you both were sharing and what's happening here.
Yeah, and I was just picturing that when they do the review of Unity of Houston, some decades ahead, way after we're not here anymore, they're going to say, that crowd at 2020, I'm telling you, we owe them a debt of gratitude, right? Don't you think? You're welcome. I'm just gonna, just say that right now.
Yes.
Sure, it was nothing,
We'll be telling good stories about this time.
Well, what we'd like to do now is gather our thoughts and our feelings together. Anything that you've received in your meditation time, in your reflection with the talk, and in listening to the dialogue here, whatever is stirring in your heart, whatever it is that you wish to lift up. This is the time when we do it as a community, and we do it together by invoking our connection once again, our conscious connection. We are not far from each other. We are as close as breath. We are as close as heart to heart. Intention and attention. We are holding ourselves together here in this prayerful time to lift up and hold for one another whatever the requests of the heart are. And so in the field that separates our physical being, let us imagine it being one fabric of spirit, one fabric of life, of love, of every possibility. And let us now quietly speak the name of a loved one or friend, of a condition or situation we would like to see changed, enhanced, or lifted to its highest. Whatever it is, speaking it now into this field of energy, we hold it mutually, lifting it up in our hearts, in our minds, in our love now. And so gently releasing into this field, our work is done. It is being changed and transformed, perhaps before our very eyes, but for sure in our future, in our unfolding hours and days, with these people, with these conditions, with our love, life will always move higher, bring more, connect us, for we never walk alone. And so in this, we are blessed, and we know it, and grateful, and so it is. Amen. Well, believe it or not, we got stuff going on. This Saturday, this is the long-awaited holiday concert, Making Spirits Bright. Yes, David, let it rip. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to have Christmas concert this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Central Time. We are asking for a suggested donation of $15 per person. We ask that you RSVP in the sanctuary or watch by live stream, one of those two ways. It will be, as always, a festive, family-friendly extravaganza featuring superstar soloists and the entire music department. Everyone you love and everyone you've ever seen, and they'll all be there. And what in the world will Julie Laskowski wear? That is the million-dollar question. So hopefully that you'll be with us there. This Sunday, Reverend Michael will continue this series in December, or begin this series in December. The Christ is born in us. And so we'll be singing Christmas carols. I've already seen a little preview of what it is we'll be singing, and it'll be a wonderful time to reacquaint yourselves. So whether you're in person or whether you're watching live stream, the sanctuary will look familiar to you, and we hope that you'll join us there. This Sunday, also, our Spanish language service will be held here in the Pyramid, and Chris Perez will be speaking on El Cristo que nace en nosotros, the Christ that is born in us. And so it's a wonderful way for us to celebrate in our Spanish-speaking community the same ideas and teachings that we have throughout our ministry. This is a powerful way to unite our community. And so that's, will be at 9:45 here in the Pyramid, also on live stream. Gifts of compassion this year, instead of asking you for a list of things to go out and buy and bring back to be wrapped up or to wrap yourself, we're instead practicing distancing and safety by asking instead for donations. And so those donations will be for Pilgrim Academy and our formerly homeless adults that we always try to give some sort of a gift for them in their new home. This will be continuing now through December 13th. There are monetary donations made on our website at unityhouston.org. You can also mail checks to the church office with UIC, Unity in the Community, in the memo section. Next Wednesday, I will be closing out our study of How Then Shall I Live by asking the question, what is my gift to the family of the earth? We sort of started to touch into that a little bit. So we'll just explore that and bring it home, as they say, next Wednesday. Ask that you consider just making sure that you're part of our service next Wednesday, live stream as always. We're so glad you joined us, and we hope that you'll join us again next week. We expect you to please keep your mask on as you exit, because we're all trying to stay safe. And the building, and exit the building, that's what I meant to say. So that is the end of our announcements, and now we'll close with our metta practice, and we'll speak it together with Reverend Jeanmarie.
Send deep metta to all those who are suffering with COVID at this time. By the power of this practice, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they know the sacred joy that arises in the space beyond suffering. May they rest in equanimity that knows no grasping or hatred. May they experience the equality of all beings. May my practice be of benefit to all. Namaste.